Hello again, everyone. George Packard with Family Lawn and Landscape. Had a question come in, very similar to something that I just covered in a video, which was about when should you fire an employee. And the guy went on and just told me a little story real quick about this neighbor that he had hired that was looking for work, and he felt sorry for the guy, so he brought him on board, and he wanted to give him a job and have everything work out. He needed the help. He wanted to bring this guy on. Well, moral of the story is the guy didn't work good. He was lazy. He just, always wanted to go home early. He was always asking, oh, gee, man, how many more jobs today? Which is another telltale sign. You want to watch those guys. But one way or the other, it didn't work out. So moral of the story with this guy, don't hire your neighbors. We have the same situation down in Florida where we're at. You have neighbors that are close by. They're always looking for a job. The odds, honestly, of the people working out down in our neighborhood are not good. You got a better chance of winning the lottery than actually having employees work out good down there. So for whatever reason. So anyway, that being said, he wanted to know, when should he get rid of them, yada yada. Well, aside from don't hire the neighbor thing, because you live there, okay, and you got to see this guy all the time, and if you piss him off because you fired him, things are probably going to start happening to your vehicles, all kinds of goofy stuff down there. So people harbor feelings. So try not to do that. It's one of the last things you want to do is hire somebody in your neighborhood. Okay. Back to his question, when should you fire people? It really depends on how much you can take. If it's things like theft, or I catch them, damaging customers' property, things like that, that's an immediate thing for me. I just don't do it. If they mouth off to one of their supervisors, that's an automatic. You're gone. I don't put up with that at all. I don't think anybody should. I realize everyone has a bad day. And I will say this. This just came up the other day in one of our meetings where I got a call from one of the managers and he wanted to fire somebody on his crew. And I really liked the guy that was on his crew. I knew him. I got along well with him. I actually hired him. And I just told him, I said, you know what, Ron? I said, here's the thing. If you want to get rid of him, you get rid of him. He told me what happened. He came around the corner. He's working on a commercial job. Guy's sitting in his truck on the phone having a cigarette. Okay. Is it break time? It's not break time. He's supposed to be out there working. So manager rolls up on him, puts him on the spot, says, what are you doing? Why aren't you working? And the guy just blows a gasket. He's having a bad day, whatever. Well, I told him, I said, Ron, let me tell you something. Because you've invested time into this guy, maybe you should do this. Pull him aside, set him down, and say, look, man, here's the thing. I like you. We've gotten along just fine up to this point. I don't know if you were having a bad day. I don't know what it was, but here's the drill. You either apologize to me for what you said to me out there, or you're gone. And keep in mind, you will be gone because I will not put up with this again. If that ever comes out of your mouth again, you ever challenge me again, you're down the road. Okay? That's the way it is. So, having said that, Ron brought the guy in, sat him down, talked to him about it. Guy apologized over and over again, and now he's been working great ever since. Everybody does have bad days, so I'm saying don't be just so quick to get rid of them for minute things. Everybody has a bad day, especially when you get out in that heat and working like that. So if they cost you money, it's a whole different ballgame, because remember, it's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins all day long out there. Nobody's out there working in that sun, fighting off sun cancer or all those kind of ailments that go along with being out in that sun and working out in that heat every single day. Chance of stroke, heart attacks, this, that, and the other. We're not out there doing it for our health. We're out there doing it to make a living. Okay? So keep that in mind. If they're costing you money, they got to go. Make every effort to communicate to your employees. I've learned this mistake in the past. I haven't communicated well in the past, especially when I get busy. I get overwhelmed with things a lot of times, so I'm not communicating my message good. Now we have a training program set up right from the beginning where we sit down with every single employee. We talk to them, tell them exactly what we expect, and we go one step further. We write down everything we expect from them, and in return, this is what we're going to pay you. These are when your days off are going to be, all this stuff. So they know coming in what it is and what we expect from them. And if they ever, the reason we put it on paper too is if they like to come back and say, you never told me that. God, I don't know how many times I heard this early on. You never told me that. You never told me that. Now, I pull out that piece of paper. Yes, I did tell you that. Right here. You signed off on it. I signed off on it. Don't give me that crap. Don't tell me you didn't know this, okay? That's a beautiful thing. Utilize that, okay? When you have the problems, I verbally talk to them about it. Second time around, put them on paper. That's CYA, cover your ass. Put them on paper. You got to do this, especially for legal reasons nowadays, and everybody will sue you over anything. So be clear to them, and tell them if this happens again, you're gone. That we're not going to put up with it anymore. You know, and you know, deep down in the back of your mind, he's going to probably screw up again. He's probably going to do this, especially if he's chronically always doing something, you know. But I'll tell you this, again, the telltale signs, if they're always wanting to know when the end of the day is coming, or they're late to work, or they're dragging their feet by noon, I mean, all these things are telltale signs for you to just, you better start interviewing other people and getting ready, because this guy ain't going to cut the mustard anyway. So, and before you do that, if you can at all do this, a good way, if you do have a website, a good way to always have a constant group of people you can call for workers is to put an ad right on your website all the time that says right on there, you know, that you're hiring, you're looking for employees. So you constantly maintain a list, so you always have a list, so you can fall back. If the customers or your employees, I mean, they just up and quit you, or you have to fire them, you have somebody you can call. And the other thing I try to do, I try to interview guys ahead of time. If I know I'm probably going to let this guy go by the end of the week, you know, because I've talked to him till I'm blue in the face, I wrote him up, he's just not getting it. Come Friday, he's gone. I'm going to make sure I start interviewing early on in the week so that I've got a replacement all ready to go. Okay, that's what we do. So, you know, I look at it this way. If they really gave a shit about you, when you sat them down and talked to them and explained why it's important they change their behavior, and they still don't do it, they don't give a shit about you. And if they don't give a crap about you, guess how I feel about them. See ya! So, you're wasting your time when you could be getting another good employee in there. Every day that guy sits in that truck and he's with you, and you know, you could be training somebody else that maybe will stay with your company. So, slow to hire, quick to fire, get rid of them, get rid of the problem, move on. Name of the game is making money. So, anyway, having said that, you have any comments you want to leave me, leave them below. We'll get back to everybody quick as we can. If there's something you want me to talk about, leave me a comment on that. I'll get back to you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel at Packard. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.